Hey, this is Colt Cabana, and you are listening to the Angry Marks podcast. You are an Angry Mark, and you are listening to a podcast.
It's incredible to me that they're going around the country with this, and they started in California, and now they're in Boston for the second stage of it tomorrow night, or Bridgewater to be more precise. But it is the Boston street fight, as we've discussed. So talk about how this match came to Bridgewater and how NECW is looking forward to this match and what you think is going to take place.
I could do business with Adam Pearce. I could do business with Colt Cabana. These are guys that each in their own individual way, bring something very special to the NWA. And that was a key reason why we got involved. It was the right guys in the right place at the right time, and our need to be different. We jumped on this series of matches because of the quality of the two people involved in it. This is actually something that is very unique and very historic. And the reason I say this is because normally in wrestling, what would happen is a promoter like myself or a booker who works for myself or a Dave Marquez or any one of the other Dave Republic or any one of the other NWA promoters would say, okay, we got this guy's the champion, we got this guy who's got some notoriety. Let's do a series and let's book these guys all over the country. That didn't happen. Adam Pearce and Colt Cabana generated this themselves, and they brought it to people and said, will you book this? And we jumped on it right away because I knew it was special. I knew that it was something different. I knew it was the right guys. And, I say this all the time to people who work for me, that there's a lot of wrestlers, but there are no stars. These guys are stars.
Yes.
And they're absolutely stars, and they bring something very special. And as a tribute to them, I wanted to be involved in it. Just my personal respect for those two guys and what they are doing, that's why I wanted to be involved in this. And we couldn't be more excited about having this match in New England Championship Wrestling.
I feel the exact same way because both guys have been guests on this show before and have talked about their accomplishments in wrestling, and we've been following all the things they've done in various promotions all around the country. And even with Colt Cabana, he had that brief stint in WWF where they made him be Scotty Goldman, but he had his time there too, and we all knew he was Colt Cabana during that time. So It's very exciting to those of us who have followed their careers on the independents around Ring of Honor and all the other places they've been, to see them having this series and to bring it all around the country to the top promotions in different areas of the country and bring the quality of what those two men can deliver in a wrestling ring to those fans in those places.
Yeah, and I want everybody that works for me, all the guys who are wrestling in the area, to come out and see this because these guys are doing something that is very groundbreaking. And it should be, all these guys should be sitting out in the audience and taking notes, in my opinion.
I totally agree. And speaking of taking notes, I have to ask a question that might seem kind of obvious, but then again, for some of our listeners, maybe it isn't so obvious because we've seen a lot of things being billed as street fights in professional wrestling. There's a Chicago street fight, and there's an Atlanta street fight, and there's a street fight everywhere that you go. But is there anything in particular about a Boston street fight that would be unique compared to the other street fights we know?
Oh, gosh. I don't know. Maybe you're supposed to eat clam chowder before you go out there, or maybe throw a lobster at the guy. I don't know.
You gotta wear a Celtics jersey.
Oh, there you go. Somebody's got to wear something from a Boston sports team or something. Usually the baby's got to wear something.
A Boston Bruins jersey.
Either that or the heel has to wear some sort of New York sportsman, like a Yankees shirt or something like that. That's sort of instant heat in Boston. So
I will save Peter the trouble of saying this and say it for him. You send out the heel in a Rangers jersey and the baby face in a Bruins jersey, and there you go.
There you go. Exactly. Or Red Sox and Yankees or whatever.
Yeah, whatever works in that case. But yeah, there will be some localized animosity brought into the feud. I have no doubt about that. But how is this going to work in terms of the overall amount of time? Do you think that this could go like an hour or 2 hours? Is there any amount of limit on how long a Boston Street fight can last?
I'll tell you the truth. I basically said to Adam Pearce and to Colt Cabana, guys, this is your deal. You tell me what you want to do, and the floor is yours. It's such a departure for us because, first of all, we would never in a million years put our own guys that we have to run with month after month in the back seat. We would never do that. So if that doesn't speak to the respect that we have for these two guys, nothing else does. The other side of it is that as part of the NWA, we are obligated to book the world champion at least once a year. This is fulfillment of our obligation, but in the other sense, I wanted to help these guys lead the charge because I think that what they're doing is important, and what they're doing is special. And so the floor is theirs.